Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. You're watching Seeing the Unseen with your host, Christopher LaPrath. My name's Kenan, his son and the producer of the show. Tonight, the title is How Did You Cut Your Finger? Some interesting things to say about that. Myself, I like to try to remind people as often as I possibly can that anytime we experience pain, we're faced with a choice to become wounded as a result of that pain, or to become wise, and potentially even share that wisdom with other people as a result of that same pain. So I hope you all choose to become wise as often as possible, moment to moment. We all have that choice. So just a quick piece of housekeeping, and I'll turn it over to Christopher for the evening. For anyone who might be joining us for the very first time, be sure to say something out there in the chat so I know you're here. By the way, hi Jared. Thanks for being here. It's $10. Of course, the first timers, there's no charge for readings, but going forward after that, it's $10 per reading, or you can pay $100 and cover the entire month. It's a pretty sweet deal, I think, because it covers 3 shows per week. So, yeah, it's a bargain. Now, readings they're a great way to invest in yourself, your healing, and your future. Thank you all so very much for your contributions, and enjoy the show. Here's Christopher.
Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody. So let me light the incense. And this is in regards to when we're challenged to see the opportunity. So this goes out to anyone that is experiencing any kind of challenge, mentally, emotionally, financially, physically, to help you understand and to get the learning, and for that pain to move away and never return. Okay. So I don't know if any of you have kind of gone about your day and then you kind of notice blood and you look and you go, hey, I cut my finger. Well, how did I cut my finger? And sometimes you have to retrace, like, what could have possibly cut your finger? You want to find out because you don't want to cut your finger again. And you want to avoid doing that so you can get the learning from cutting your finger. And sometimes it's just a sharp edge on the counter that you weren't even aware of. Sometimes you're handling paper and it's a paper cut, but you didn't even realize it necessarily at the time. My point is this ties in with the group card tonight. And we've got a really good group tonight, so I want to get into the group readings as soon as possible. But this group card is quite profound. It's called the Halls of Learning. I'd recommend, if you can, to take a picture of this with your cameras, with your phones, because this may actually look familiar to some of you. It's a place that is said that we all visit in our dreams. And it's actually a spiritual mystery school, if you want to call it Heavenly Hogwarts. It's in a different realm, but it is believed that we, especially if we're on a spiritual quest, that this is where we go when we dream, even though we may not remember it, but some of us may. It may look like a vast library. And if that rings true for you, then definitely. But what this is, and I know with every one of you, because I've talked to you outside of the program, this is where, when you visit this library, when you visit this mystery school, your intuitiveness, your psychic abilities grow. And just like you would go to a literal library to study, this is where you study basically with the masters or with other psychically inclined people. And how does that help us? When we come back to the physical and we're awake, we could have been facing very challenging times. And so, whatever the challenging time is, when you get the lesson is done and the challenging time is over. So, say this, and I'll repeat it a couple of times. Source, again, you may call it God, you may call Holy Spirit, whatever it is, source and wisdom keepers of the halls of learning. Thank you for revealing to me the patterns, the trauma, or the wound that has created this lesson so I can heal it once and for all. It's why if you cut your finger, you want to find out how and why and where you cut your finger so you don't repeat the lesson. You don't cut your finger again. But this is showing me, reveal me the patterns, the trauma, or the wound that has created the lesson so I can heal it once and for all. So this is where you're tuning into source, you're tuning into your guides. And what this card indicates for the group is your spiritual guides are gathering around you to specifically help you at this time with whatever it is. It may not even be a challenge. It may be a new learning. It may be something that you're developing within, okay? But always reveal, always ask Source, always ask God, ask the Holy Spirit, ask whatever you call it, to reveal to you the pattern, the trauma, the wound that contributed to the challenge so that you can file it down. If it's a sharp edge on your counter, file it down. If it's a stuck out nail, cut it off, file it down. Because it is an opportunity. So this instance for you tonight is to view every challenge as an opportunity. Okay, who's on first?
Marilyn Pitts.
Marilyn Pitts. Okay. Okay, Marilyn. This is the player card. It's perfectly okay if you're playing with other people to take your ball and go home. If you're done playing any game, especially with relatives, friends, you don't have to be mean about it. But it's time to leave the game. And what is it that you would still like to do? So this is your brother coming through, and he's encouraging you to, if you've never done a hot air balloon, that type of thing, go do a hot air balloon. Go ride a roller coaster. Go learn something new. Or if you're quilting, It's an opportunity to build up other people if you do it in a group. So I don't know if you've been thinking about this or joining a club or joining something, but it's your brother's like encouraging you to do this, to be more of a player. And to not worry about the rules of what you should do, have to do, need to do. Okay, who's next?
Lindsay.
Okay, Lindsay. The Chariot card is all about movement. It's all about moving. The Beverly Hillbillies theme song is going through my head. So they loaded up their truck and they moved to Beverly Hills, that is. Swimming pools, movie stars. This is like combining resources and creating a new place. Where would you, and the thing is, what this is encouraging you to do, Lindsay, is to change your environment a little bit. In other words, just even start dreaming about where you would like to move, where you would like to live. What kind of new house would you like? What part of the country would you like to live in? Just start dreaming about it, because that creates a movement to not just change physically, like change your environment physically, but also get you into moving spiritually and emotionally and mentally. Because one affects the other like dominoes. So this is, oh, you're constantly looking at new houses on Zillow. Okay. So take a day a month and actually go look at them. But also think about what part of the country you'd like to live in. And somehow, and really tell your guides that's what you want. Remember we talked on the show Monday night about when you meditate like your hair's on fire? It's very focused, very concentrated. So this is you moving to that place. Okay? And so, okay. So take a look at this, Lindsay. If I said to you, now I don't want to upset you, but. Now I don't want to seem insensitive, but. You're going to go, oh my God, he's going to try to be insensitive. He's going to try to upset me. Because you hear the word don't. But actually you don't hear the word don't. The brain doesn't really hear the word don't. It just hears that you hear that I said I was going to try to upset you, or I was going to seem insensitive. So when you say I don't really want to move, take a look at that. Take a look at what your higher self wants. Okay? And it may not be crossing, it may not be moving out of state, but it is changing your environment. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And who's next?
Oh, Lana.
Okay, Lanny. Elk Lady, here you come. So, Lana, can you on YouTube look at some breathing exercises? Because what I first saw with this card, this is called aspiration. So it's kind of like Lindsay, where she's looking at new houses and what's possible for her. And usually that with aspiration, that is again, what is it you would like to do or have? But in this case, it's improving your breathing, which is going to strengthen your body. And there are hundreds of YouTube videos on just doing some breathing exercises. It strengthens the body, strengthens the heart, and I think you'll find them really interesting. There's also essential oil. It's called Breathe. It has like a little bit of, it has peppermint and but you know what? Even if you have just mentholatum and put it underneath your nose, that helps your breath. The other thing too that will clean your sinuses out is crying. Or when you're crying, it's a matter of releasing toxins. So, and it's releasing things that you no longer need, that really no longer serve you. And it's, when you're breathing, you're taking in 10 to the 22nd power of atoms. We've talked about this. With each breath, it's 10 to the 22nd power, which is 10 followed by 22 zeros, which is 1,000,000 atoms from everything and everyone that has ever lived or is living. Everything. And we have the capacity to tap into that. So, especially when things get tense or you get nervous or you're not feeling well, remember to breathe. Okay.
Great. Austin's next.
Okay, Austin, here we go. Oh, good. Austin, help Lindsay narrow down where she wants to live. Take her out and look at some houses. Just drive around neighborhoods. Jim Carrey, when he first started, before he got famous, he would sit out in Beverly Hills at these multi-million-dollar mansions and go, I'm going to live in that. I'm going to live in that. I'm going to live in that. And pick houses and just sit outside and just dream until he actually manufactured it. He actually created it. This is you narrowing down. So it's not anything that you're going to have to do or do exercises. I'm not going to call you and give you 30 minutes of exercises and go, okay, Austin, you have to do this and this and this to narrow the. No, it's going to come naturally where you're narrowing down and finding out what it is you really want and then attain it. This is laser beam focus. This is going for it and then getting it. Okay, who's next?
John.
John Kletlinger. Okay, John. I posted on Facebook, John did this amazing picture. He lives in Wyoming. And literally, in his backyard are these buffalo, and they're just amazing. I think most of you have seen it on Facebook. Anyway, he got this picture of the buffalo they're getting their winter coats. And they just look really, really huggable, but don't hug them. Okay. So, John, you're one of the most you're one of the best guys for integrity that I've ever met. Anyone that challenges that or says anything different, remember, everyone is a mirror to you, but you are a mirror to them. And if you, there's a saying that says, your spirit really rattles other people's demons. And Lana can vouch for this too. We've kind of talked about that. Where if people accuse you of something, this is psychology 101. They're usually guilty of it themselves and they're projecting. So, this is you keeping integrity. Especially from ultra religious people. You and I have talked about this. Where some of the most religious people are some of the greatest philanderers or con artists, or because they use that religion, right? This is about you being aware, just because somebody calls themselves a Christian or a Buddhist or whatever, to look behind that. So to keep your eyes open, and especially if they're, I have nothing against religion, you know that. But if they're using religion to hide behind, that's where this is where your integrity, your awareness is growing. So be more aware of that. Okay, who's next?
It's Mason and Teresa.
Hey, Mason and Teresa. Okay, my dear Teresa. So remember I said where every challenge is an opportunity. This is something important to remember. When other people's worlds kind of fall apart. So the Tower card is about a tower crumbling. But the tower has to crumble in order to build something new. But then there are drama kings and queens who continually create drama because they've learned to get attention that way, right? They've learned to get energy through drama, and they'll always one up anyone's horror story. So in any way, shape, or form, anyone around you that is in drama, are you willing to be free of trying to rebuild their house? Or, I mean, it's not that you don't help people. You do. You can't, absolutely. I'm not saying not to help people. But you're really becoming more and more aware of when it's drama, and they're just trying to get energy from you. And just not buying into that whatsoever. And you know, a great thing to say is, oh, you know what? That's just not my policy, right? But you can also come back with them, you know, every challenge, there's an opportunity. There is. Every one of us on the show have been through really rough times. in one way or the other through all kinds of things. And we've gotten a lot of help from our friends and our family to help us get through it. So I'm not saying that. I'm just saying anyone that is constantly creating new drama, back off. And it may make them aware of the drama that they're creating. It may make them aware. Okay. Oh, you had that today? Yeah. So, yeah. And so that is a challenge, and so it's an opportunity to learn. This is the halls of learning, right? This is where you call upon Source, and these halls of this hall of learning, this higher learning, and go, wait a minute. Oh, I have some judgment on that. What's up with that? What is that? And that's great. That's where you want to be, is be aware of, oh, what is this? And it's a great opportunity to learn. So that's what they're bringing up. Okay, Mr. Mason, thanks for being here. It's great to have you on the show. Everyone, Mason's is 7 now, right? You're 7. So we talked about, Mason, you like studying birds. You're also really good at crystals and feeling crystals, and you can actually feel a certain vibration of crystals, like how they're vibrating or if they need cleaning. Okay, so to clean a crystal, you can put it in salt, you can put it in selenite, you can put it out in the full moon, right? Put it outside. There are lots of ways to energetically clean crystals. You can just wash them off in salt water. There's lots of different ways, but you can feel the vibration of crystals. So you might want to go around your mom's house and feel the crystals and go, hey, are these high energy now still? And if they're not, clean them. That'd be fun for you to do. Okay.
Yeah, Marilyn and Abby.
Okay, my dear Marilyn and Abby. Carolina girls. Okay. Along with Marilyn Pitts. So, Marilyn, as you're moving forward, I'm seeing 2 or 3 people that are, because it's like you're not the same person as you were 2-3 months ago. I mean, you've just evolved and evolved and evolved. Some of these people at the church can talk about evolving, can talk about God's love. This is kind of getting into John's card. But they're reaching up to try to drag you down. So you know that story I've told you about the crabs in the ocean? If you go crabbing in the ocean, you don't need a lid on the cage, because when the crabs crawl in to get the bait and you start pulling the cage up, the crabs just pull each other down. If one starts to crawl out of the cage, the others just pull it down. So they're wanting to pull you down. So there's I get about 3 people where you want to I'm always and forever free of invasive energy from so and so. Okay? I'm always and forever free of invasive energy from so and so. And then put salt at your door. If anyone comes over, when you put that salt out, remember, have the intention, when you pour the salt at the doorstep, no one and nothing enters this house unless it's for my best and highest. Okay. All right, my dear Abby. Commencement. Starting something new. So this is really interesting. So Marilyn's got Fool Child. Fool Child is starting new, or being in a new place, being in a new environment of spiritual growth. And so it's great that you got the commencement card, because it's this kind of the same card. But this is walking across the stage, Abby, with your gown on, and you don't have to wear shoes. But it's like claiming your diploma. This is claiming the effort you put in, and who you are, and what you've done, and what your gifts are. Okay, that's why. And you know what? It's not putting a show on. You're not showing up people in the audience that didn't have their degree or didn't go through what you went through. You're not showing them up. You're stepping up to claim your power. This is you stepping up to claim your power like never before. Okay? All you got to do is set your mind to it, knuckle down, buckle down, do it, do it, do it. And you're doing it. And this is the commencement. Then it's going to move you into the next level. So anywhere where you have ever said, I am not intuitive, I'm not psychic, listen, girl, you've been visiting those same halls of learning that I have, that everyone on the show has at night. It's just that, you know how when you go through school, you have all these different teachers, and they teach in a different method? We all have our own way of teaching. So just honor your way of teaching and how you come across to people, because you're going to reach people I can't reach, or that Marilyn can't reach. You get my drift? Okay. Well, call me. Okay. All right, who's next?
Scotty Brosy.
Hey, Brosy. All right, here we go. So in The Matrix, who was the... so Neo was the protagonist. And who was the guys in black? Do you remember their names, Ken? The agents. Okay, the agents. All right. So the agents were angry that Neo was progressing. So this is interesting. This is coming after Marilyn and Abby's card. The agents were really angry that Neo in the movie was progressing, and they were angry, and they were firing bullets at him. I'm always and forever free of the effect of others' anger on or around me. I'm always and forever free of the effect I'm always and forever free of the effect of others' anger on me. Around me. I'm always and forever free of all others' anger around me. Salt under your bed, big time. Change your salt out tonight if you can. Or if you haven't done it in the past few days. And I'll get you some pieces of selenite this weekend too. Okay.
Gotcha. So Jared and Kat are next.
Jared and Kat? Okay. Hey Austin, yeah, we read for you, so you may have to watch the rewind or the
He's number 4.
the rerun. Yeah, you were number 4. Okay, so Jared and Kat? All right. Okay. So Jared, you can't. You cannot fix stupid. You can't. No one can. No one can. If you're arguing with someone, not arguing, but if you're voicing your opinion, you're probably throwing your pearls before swine. Okay, that's an expression. And again, I've talked on the show about this. There's nothing wrong with swine or pigs. It's just that they don't understand the value of pearls. So this is the time to zip it and just have compassion toward those people that don't get it. And it's like Kenan was reminding me today when he was talking to somebody. He's like, I remembered to only talk to this guy, not what was on him, not his belief systems that he was just parroting, right? It's having compassion with people, and people can feel that compassion rather than your words. So arguing them, it's a waste of words, it's a waste of energy, but you can always have compassion. The other thing too is have more fresh flowers around your office, your doctor's office. Okay. Kat. Hey, Kat. Man. When the harvest is ready, you got to go. You got to go. You can't stop till the harvest is in. And it's a lot of work. But it is also extremely rewarding. So you're moving into a time of a lot of work, but it's the harvest. This is where things are starting to come together. And it's not... Listen, a farmer plants the seed, fertilizes the soil, prepares the soil, plants the seed, but they do nothing to make it grow. It's God, it's source, whatever you want to call it, that makes this harvest grow. Corn, wheat, beets, onions, whatever the harvest is. It's this coming to fruition without you, and so you withdraw your effort from making it grow because it's growing. All you have to do is just the harvest and harvest what's coming, and be prepared to work to harvest, right? And knowing the timing of it and trusting your timing, trusting your gut of it. And I think you know what we're talking about. Okay.
Harlan is next.
Who?
Harlan?
Hey, Harlan. Hey, great to have you on the show. So, Harlan, how do you want your life to be? This is the Emperor card. Watch your thoughts, watch your words, because those are commands to the universe. And so, change your words. When you say to a little kid, use your words, this is using your words to create the life you want, free of the life that you are not wanting anymore. As simple as it sounds, just even writing affirmations. I am wealthy. I am healthy. I am happy. I am joyful. We get water delivered, or we buy these 5-gallon water jugs. We have a water dispenser. We actually write those words, healthy, joyful, happy, on the big 5-gallon jugs. We reuse them, but those words have power. So this is you creating the life that you are really wanting and moving into, because you're like an emperor. When an emperor's words go out, his soldiers, his servants, they follow it. These are your angels, your guides. Tell them how you want your life to be, not complaining about how your life is or isn't, but focus on what it is you do want. Okay.
And then last is Ashley Walsh. If you want to do. She's saying that she had some big energy this week. And she needed some insight.
Ashley?
Yes.
Ashley Walsh? Okay.
And then, yeah, Jared, they're dressing up as farmers.
Oh, Jared, you says you're dressing up as farmers and my staff farm animals for Halloween. Yeah. We decided this today. You're dying laughing. Yeah. Oh my God. That is hilarious. I love it. Okay.
That's a new person.
Yeah. And then, so we've got Ashley now?
Yeah.
Okay, Ashley. All right, and you've got she said she had a big decision?
Right. She said she was feeling some big energy.
Big energy. Okay.
She just wanted some insight.
So Ashley, I don't know if you have sage. I don't know if you have incense. Even if you have cloves in the spice cabinet, if you have, you can order camphor on Amazon, camphor, and it's cleaning the energy around you. Okay. This is purity. This is purifying the energy. And anywhere where you're picking up on energy that is not yours, can you return to sender right now? And trust the window of opportunity. And are you willing to let go of the belief that there's just a small window of opportunity? That's really not how the out universe works. If you miss that so-called window of opportunity, but wait, there's more. The window's much bigger, and being aware of other people's projections on you or on your project or on what you're doing. because they need validation of who they are by you paying attention to them and doing what they say. And it all has to do with like a really weak self-worth on their part, not yours. So that's for you, Ashley, is first of all, where is this energy coming from? If it's not beneficial, if it feels heavy or dark, it's not yours. That's not who you are. And the incense, the sage, the camphor, the cloves. Just even writing on a piece of paper all negative energy, leave now, and actually burning it. And are you willing to let go of any and all of any and everyone's expectations of you or on you? There we go. All right, that's like, they're just showing me the glaciers, that calve, they start crashing into the ocean, and it's breaking apart. I can feel it. This expectations on you that are not of you or from you at all. So any of those expectations, return to sender. Okay? And then we have
this new person, Thomas Eck.
Thomas Eck. Well, thank you for being here. It's nice to have you on the show. Appreciate it. We'll pull a card for you. Progress, not perfection, Thomas Eck. This is the courage. So I'll give you an example. When I didn't start college till I was in my 50s, and I was scared to death, but I did it. It took courage for me to go to college. No one in my family had gone to college. I didn't think I was smart enough. I didn't think I could afford it. Yada, yada, yada. There were all these excuses. This is stepping into a new way of thinking, a new way of life, and changing your life and having the courage to do it. This is giving you the courage to do it. Move forward, move ahead, and be free of the fear of people not following you or accepting you. Move forward anyway. Because in moving forward, there are going to be new people that love you as you're moving forward and growing. Okay?
Great.
All right.
There's another new person. It's called Queen Libra, the Empress.
Queen Libra, the Empress. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for being here. Great. Well, we'll pull a card for you, Queen Libra. And you have the Strength card. So this is giving you huge kudos for what you've been through and the strength that you've exhibited. Great job. Really fantastic. We started the show off with talking about these guides and these angels and the doors that have higher learning. Call upon them. Your guides, your angels, the people that have crossed over are there to strengthen you. You got this. You can do this. Against all odds. Just keep moving forward. Free of expectations on yourself. Okay? Okay, so let's just, do we have everybody on the show? Okay, great. Thank you all very much for being here. We'll do this again Sunday night. And great blessings to you all. If you have any questions, you can text me. Take care. Love you.